Okay. Hi, and welcome to Flip Phone Confessional.
Oh my God, just blowing eardrums out.
This is Flip Phone Confessional, where trauma flipped harder than my Motorola. I said I'd lay in a text, got left on red. Now I'm scream singing Fall Out Boy in my bed. We're spilling secrets from the teen days, crushing on skaters in anal ways. You grab your chain wallet and your black nail pen. We're dialing back to when life made no sense. Time to confess.
What's up, everybody? Happy June.
Happy June. My name is Brandon,
I'm Justin.
and we
And
are
this
a
is Flip Phone
podcast called Flip
Confessional.
Phone Confessional. We're talking over each other.
still
Stop
haven't
illegally
gotten this.
downloading.
10 months in, we still haven't figured this out, but it's all good. It's super fun. We're glad you're here. Thank you for all the support. We are trying to get better, unsuccessfully, but we love you anyway.
Today we are talking about one of the, I don't know, like a seminal part of my childhood, a movie entitled He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, and honestly just the greater expanded He-Man, as there is a new movie that's about to come out, but that'll be part of kind of a longer conversation that we have about nostalgia in general. But before we do that, we're going to start off this episode with our good news of the day.
Yeah, so good news happened in May a couple weeks ago, but I still think it was pretty cool. There was a 68-year-old male Domino's delivery driver out in Idaho who went viral because he was just trying to keep up with his costs and expenses as they're getting old in retirement. There was a GoFundMe that was started. It raised $171,000, and now he can officially retire from being a Domino's delivery driver and enjoy retirement. So I thought
That's
that was
awesome.
I thought it was really cool. The one thing as much as I would love for social media and the internet to be destroyed, ironically, as we say this for an internet show, is it still shows humanity. And I think that's really cool. There's a lot of like negativity in the world. There's a lot of just like divisiveness, people arguing, like case in point, like the whole LA mayor race, place fond to your heart is going bonkers right now. But when you think about when we use the internet for good, we can do some really cool things. And I've seen this tons of times of people going viral on the internet. Either it's a homeless person or someone who's down on their luck. Someone starts to GoFundMe and people come together. And it's really cool to just see like this guy doesn't have to like humble himself and deliver pizzas because he can't afford his Medicare payments or whatnot. So I thought it was sweet. Anytime I see glimpse of hope in that, I think, oh, maybe there is still a shining light to this world that's filled in darkness. So I thought it was a cool story.
I think, on an individual level, humanity, we still contain some shards of goodness in this world, for sure.
Yeah.
I think it's oftentimes when you get into tribalism, like, oh, me and who I am versus you and the other is when things go bad. And obviously on the internet, like the loudest voices, I mean, even in like, when we like look at the news, right? Like what sells is calamity and chaos
Clicks.
and the world is ending. Exactly. So there is obviously some sort of biological measure that has helped us throughout time to be on the guard for the thing that's bad and to like villainize certain things for our own betterment. But as we've talked about here many times, if you just take the time and the effort to like get out of your reptile brain, maybe you'll give a guy in Idaho a couple bucks so he can, chill the fuck out.
It's so funny how it's just like revenue sharing, how much you could probably just like retire everybody. Literally, if like we each gave someone else a collective dollar, like I'm sure at some point it would.
Are you a socialist?
Obviously. No, yeah, right. I don't even know what I am.
You're a burner?
I hate all government. No, it's just cool. It's just cool. I've seen that to like ridiculous amounts. There's a guy on the internet who does like lawn care for free. He just finds the most like overgrown patches of lawns.
I know what you're talking
about. Just like knocks on doors and he's like, hey, I'll do it for free. Can I just film it and do it? And he ran into this woman who was just like
SB mowing.
80. Yeah, that's him. Yeah. And this woman was like 80, decrepit, could barely like walk. He had to help her out of her house. And he came back and he's like, we started GoFundMe like a day ago. And you now have $800,000. And it's like,
I saw that exact one.
Yeah, and
And
she was
those-
just like sobbing. She was like just
Yeah.
completely overwhelmed. It's like
Can you
that is
imagine?
life-changing money for anybody, not even someone who's like on like disability or just on Social Security, but for
Totally.
literally anyone. Yeah,
Can you
it's just,
imagine
it's
being
cool.
that old lady and like, and a guy comes up and knocks on your door and you're like, I don't know. I'm kind of tired. Like, what's this guy trying to sell
Yeah.
me?
And then he mows your lawn.
You don't
You're like-
have the internet. Like your grandkid like made it so that your phone only has like solitaire, you know, you like no actual like Wi-Fi service. And then
Yeah.
all of a sudden, however much money is just flooded to you. Yeah, that part of the internet really, really cool.
Yeah, but there's a lot of dark side of the internet. We won't get to that today. Meat spin.
Speaking
and-
of the dark side, He-Man and
Masters of the Universe.
Are you so stoked? Are you so amped for this movie?
so
Oh,
wait, here's the
man.
thing. Did you watch the trailer?
I did, yeah. It
Okay.
looked good.
Okay, and how much do you know, like how much research have you done on He-Man? Do you know about anything at all?
I've seen, like, being completely honest, I've probably seen like 2 to 4 episodes of He-Man. And I'm trying to remember
okay.
if I saw it on like Boomerang back in the 90s or early 2000s. Like,
Sure.
because it was an old school show, they only showed
Yep.
it on like an old school Cartoon Network. But it was hard for me to get into because I was so into anime at that time and like sharp lines, like very intense
Yeah.
graphics. And then when I looked at He-Man, all I could think is like, okay, this is just like Thundercats 2.0. This is just like kind of crappy
It's a great point.
animation, like kind of matte colors, not very like detailed. I was just like, I'm bored. There's nothing else on. I'll give it a shot. But other
Yeah.
than that, my He-Man knowledge is limited.
Okay, so which leads me to
Other
kinda
than
like
Skeletor memes, I know those.
yeah, it's funny how like certain parts of like this show and this IP have evolved over time and become something even more than it was originally. He-Man, to go back, actually starts with a toy. So its birth is the product first.
It didn't start
So-
from a comic. It started from a toy.
Didn't
That's
start from
cool.
comics. Yeah, and it's kind of this somewhat of an evolution from Star Wars and superheroes. Like they're like, okay, we need to put together something that kids will buy, and from that, in like 1983, I think the toy comes out 1982. They make the animated series in 1983. I'm born in 1984, so I inherit
Yeah.
this when like my best friend that lives across the street from me, who's 4 years older than me, at the age of I think maybe like 4, gives me all of his He-Man toys. So I'm
Wow.
like, oh my God, I get like this huge box of all these awesome toys. But anyway, 1983, they make this animated series. It ran for just 2 years, 2 seasons of the show.
R.I.P.
65 episodes each.
Yeah,
which is
130
insane,
episodes
which is
total.
wild.
They were
Yeah.
pumping, and that's imagine this is when like no computers, very limited computer animation.
Yeah.
Like this is all being
Hand drawn. Yeah, it's wild. And then they make a movie that I think comes out in 1987. It's actually the first movie that I ever remember seeing. Is this movie in a drive-in movie theater? So if I were to ask you, what is He-Man about? You've watched a trailer. You've seen 2
Yeah.
cartoon episodes at some point in your life. What is He-Man? What is this? It's a pretty cracked out cartoon.
Isn't it just like a space version of like Superman? It's like this prince who has this secret identity of transforming into the super jack guy with a sword, and he's just trying to save essentially his planet and the universe. Is that like it in a nutshell?
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it is a little bit of like Superman. Like he is the strongest man in the world.
Yeah,
And
Clark
if he like
Kent
raises
to
his
Superman.
sword by the
Yeah.
power of Grayskull. Yeah, exactly. But it's like a mix of like fantasy and sci-fi. So
Okay.
it like has like magic castles, but also has like lasers and robots.
Nice. Nice.
His like pet cat, which is this like a green and orange tiger, also evolves with him when he like raises his sword. Yeah, and then he rides. I think his Battle Cat is the name. So that was also the major thing for me. It's like, oh, you get to ride an actual like tiger, like super sick. And so it is kind of this like fever dream of everything that a 10-year-old, or at least in my case, that a 5-year-old would want. Like, I want like tigers and cats and magic and spaceships and sorcerers and like jack dudes, like in like,
Jack dudes, huh?
No, in like veiled kind of like gay undertones, like he's got like these like little like thong, but it's like covered in like fur, and he's like super jacked, and he's like holding his sword, and it's very phallic. Yeah, everything that I wanted, which obviously explains so much today.
Is that who you're gonna cosplay this year? Since you're so jacked now, it's gonna be He-Man,
right?
No, that's cool. I'm looking at these pictures of the cat. It basically just turns into like an armored giant tiger after he transforms.
Yeah, and Skeletor had a huge like Black Panther that he rode.
80s, man. 80s were all about like leopard print and cat clothing and stuff.
It was like, yeah, there was like nothing that wasn't interesting on screen. I mean, yet again, going back, you're like, okay, this is kind of slow, but at the time it was like, oh, this is everything that I want. Even like I don't know, I'm 4 or like 5, but like the women are hot in that traditional like 80s sense of the word. What is that one music video?
South Park? Oh, I thought you were going to talk
basically,
about
with like
the South
huge
Park
boobs,
episode.
and he's like riding the boob.
Remember
mobile?
when it was the cat piss episode where they're getting high off of cat piss?
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
and
exactly.
Kenny transports, and he's just like, it's like a He-Man throwback where he's just saving the world with this giant breasted woman. Oh my
Correct.
God.
Yeah, it's basically the same exact thing. So my question, so obviously I grew up with He-Man. I have an affection for He-Man. It occupies a space like in my heart. Actually, oh shoot.
Do you got a toy? Did you want to show a toy?
So obviously, yeah, He-Man occupies this specific spot like in my childhood, in my life. Like one of the very first things that I loved, and like I loved drawing. Like art was like my first kind of identity before hockey, before basketball, before acting. And my favorite thing to draw was tigers. And yes, I still have
That's dope.
Battle cat that like lives over here amongst all of like my plants. It's like in my little jungle. Yes, because look, this 5-year-old version of me didn't die. Okay, like the 10-year-old Brandon still lives.
I'm good with it.
Anyway, point being is like, who is this movie for? This animated series came out 83, 85.
It's Gen X. It's got to be for Gen X.
Which means that it's 40 years old, which means the person who was watching it is now maybe 45.
I was going to
at
say
the youngest,
like
maybe 50.
45 to 55 is probably the peak, which is a weird demographic to target to want to get the energy to go out to a movie theater to watch a movie.
Well, that's what I'm saying, because a 50-year-old isn't taking their kid to the movies because their kid's 15 or 20 or 25.
And their grandkids are too young in that like kind of age group to be like, oh, I'm going to take my grandkid to relive this moment with them.
Now, the director of this film, apparently this is a passion project for him. And I think that's really cool. And I want to encourage people who have a passion and you want to do the work to like keep this alive. There's also been like a reboot of the animated series that was on Netflix for a little bit. So there's been other ways for this property to kind of like stay afloat.
Got it.
But yeah, I don't know. Like, is there any part of you that wants to see this, that would ever see this?
The graphics on the trailer don't look too bad, but for me, it's like one of those. I'm so staunch when it comes to movies now, where it's like you really have to blow me away with a movie trailer for me to want to actually go see a movie. My time is limited. Again, 2 kids now. Every minute is valuable of when I go spend it. But it's just also movies are expensive, and if you have a babysitter, so it's like to go see a movie is $100 for me, which is fine, like whatever. But it has to like be worth my time, or else I'm not going to go see it. It's got Jared Leto in it, which to me makes it think it's already probably going to be a terrible movie. No offense to Jared Leto, he just has it just bombs. Like every Jared Leto movie that's come out in the last like 15
luckily, he doesn't
years.
have his face. Luckily, it's like
maybe
his face,
maybe
not
that
even
like,
really his voice.
No, I thought that was a little weird.
Skeletor.
Yeah, but I don't know. It looks like a fun popcorn flick, but I already got that with Mortal Kombat, so I'm probably not going to see it in theaters. I'll probably wait till it comes out. I'll give it a chance, but I don't think I would spend all that money to go see a movie I didn't have an emotional tie to like you did.
And I have emotional tie to it. See, that's the thing is, I don't know if I actually have an emotional tie. I have an emotional tie to the memory that I had when I was a kid.
Got it.
But yeah, like I'm not 50, but I'm 42, and I'm not a father of two, but it would still be not only a ticket for me and Nina, probably just a ticket for myself. This is me, a 42-year-old man, like going watching a movie in the middle of the day. And even then I'm like,
So what I did for Mortal Kombat, I went and saw it by myself. I have no
Right.
shame. Fuck it, I don't care.
but you know what both of those movies are? Both of those are great plane movies. You know, empty calories. It doesn't really matter to me what happens here. I have nothing invested. This is just like visual fodder for me.
But I think those are healthy. I say healthy as a loose term, but I like movies where you just turn your brain off and you can just enjoy a movie for it being what it is. Anyway.
You just don't like thinking, and that's fine. That's fair. We all know that.
You're right. I don't.
We love you.
My
we
whole
love
goal
you.
in life is how can I get through life with the least amount of thought process possible. It's great. It's worked so far.
Claude, put together a prompt that thinks for me. Put together a master thought exercise.
Let me sign up for that Tesla chip for my brain so I don't have to worry about it.
Okay, as someone who doesn't like to think, but who is, in many ways, like, a steward of nostalgia.
Yeah, let's go.
Are we entering a post-nostalgia era? Are we getting to a point where I just feel like there's so many of these movies, movie studios, and just in general, like pop culture everywhere, is trying to mine from existing IP because it makes sense. Because it's like, okay, we have established community and we have a built-in kind of like safeguard that will guarantee that we at least return some of our investment. And so I guess maybe I'm using the words wrong, but so maybe it's not like we're against nostalgia, but it's kind of like original ideas seemingly more valuable than regurgitating existing IP. At least for me, you are trying to pander or you're trying to like pull on these heartstrings, and I'm so fatigued by it now.
Here's the problem is that's been Hollywood forever. So it's not like we've reached any new inflection point because it's just gone on and on and on. For example, like Star Wars.
Wait, yeah. What do you mean by forever?
Like Star Wars came out in 1979, had its first 3 episodes. What happened 20-some years later?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Episodes 1, 2, and 3. What happened another 20 years later? We'd have 7, 8, and 9, right? And then you have Jurassic Park, and then we have Jurassic World, and we have those series. And then
so you're just saying within our lifetime, not forever.
Loose forever. So let's go with that. But then you think of we had Bad News Bears, and then we had Bad News Bears again. We had The Longest Yard, then we had The Longest Yard again. You could think of a ton of, basically Hollywood will just look at, hey, what was a cult classic film, or maybe actually a pretty good film, and we'll just redo the whole thing and just put some new characters in it that are popular right now. So it's tough because people love nostalgia. I think people also like, someone like you probably likes, hey, I want to see how they do this movie from their perspective, from their lens. Some people really like that, and some people really hate that. I'm one of those people that hates that. Like, if you're going to remake a movie, I want, like, wash, rinse, repeat of the exact same thing. Like, don't take creative, artistic storylines. Don't change the plot. Don't change the main characters. Like, just do the movie over again. That's what I enjoy if you're going to do a remake. But
what about Disney's like Lion King and Jungle Book?
Awful,
right?
Because they took,
which were pretty close.
But they weren't.
Aspects, right?
Jungle Book was good. I love Jungle Book. If I'm thinking of like the best live action Disney movie, for me it's Jungle Book. I thought that movie was incredible. Lion King,
and that was pretty close to it.
The Lion King, the voices really bothered me because I didn't have like an emotional connection to Jungle Book as far as like the voice actors and characters. I remember
Watch your mouth.
But it wasn't like I held those tight to me. But when you think of like Nathan Lane as Timon or Matthew Broderick as Simba, and then you hear these new characters, and you're like, it doesn't fit the same. And they did the song styles a little differently. They took some riffs I wasn't really a fan of. But I hear your point. I think businesses have mined the shit out of nostalgia the last 5 years because they know they can get away with it. Because we're going to consume it. We're going to buy it. And I think it just goes back to more of like a mental health issue of like, we hate the world so much now. The only things that we gravitate to are the things that were when we were a kid or like a teen that brought us happiness. So I'm kind of nostalgia fatigued when it comes to like the Hollywood front because I love original movies. I love original storylines, and I feel like we don't get that like very much at all. I'm trying to think of when the last like original movie that I watched that was really really good. And
Well,
I'm
there's,
having
there's two movies that are out right now that are killing it in the box office.
Backrooms.
Obsession and Backrooms.
Dude, I want to see Backrooms so
Dude,
bad.
same. I know. I really wish I had time to see before I leave on this trip. But both of those movies are original ideas. I think Obsession was made for $750,000, and I think it's grossed over
200, I think.
Yeah, something crazy.
And Backrooms was 10 million.
Was 10 million. It just debuted for an 80 million opening weekend.
Global 130, which was it's crazy.
Global 130. Okay, so yeah, their profit on this is like wild. Meanwhile, He-Man's coming out and Mandalorian and Grogu just came out and doing nothing. Mandalorian and Grogu has dropped off 70% from its original opening weekend.
Really? I thought Mando was going to kill it. I really want to see that movie because I love the Mandalorian show. I thought it was really good.
But I think what I've heard, and I haven't seen it, is that they're just kind of regurgitating. They're not evolving or pushing the story in a meaningful way.
I heard that too. I saw most reviews for Mandalorian Grogu were like a 6 out of 10. They said, take your kids. It's a fun movie for kids. But if you're a diehard Star Wars fan, you're going to hate this movie because there's no character development. There's no...
Right.
There's no what's the ties to Grogu and Yoda? What's going to evolve next? What's next for the storyline? I heard that from so many Star Wars fans, like they hated the movie because you didn't, it's a popcorn flick. Like it's a movie of just like, oh, this is just an extension of the show. It's just another adventure that they go on. There's no depth to it. It just feels like once you hit the 20-year mark, everything's fair game. Like Harry Potter, it came out in 2001. We're getting a brand new series this fall.
Well, except for that we're actively choosing with our dollars that we just don't want that anymore.
Well, we don't know that.
We're not as interested. I'll say that.
So what do you think like the course of action is to like correct this? To just like, should we just stop? Should we just like stop going to consuming nostalgia when it comes to spending money on these franchises? But then you have something like Lilo and Stitch and it makes $1 billion and then Disney's going to be like, well, that did $1 billion. So let's just make another remake.
I think it's going to force these movie studios to think more and to be more creative. There's theoretically, historically been more safety in using existing IP for your movie because kind of like what we were talking about before we hopped on of like, oh, here's some data-driven reasons why we can insulate ourselves from failure at the box office. Now, because they're showing, at least with these two examples of like Grogu and theoretically He-Man, that's not as safe as they think that it is, or maybe that it historically has been. And then you have these examples of these other movies that, are wildly outperforming their budgets. I think it's going to hopefully jostle those studios to take some more risks in new ideas to develop new IP, because maybe there is a Backrooms in 20 years, and maybe there's probably going to be, well, actually, there definitely is going to be an Obsession 2 and an Obsession 3. And so that will definitely happen.
Paranormal Activity. Remember, it cost $15,000 for them to make that movie in 2009, and they made $180 million gross. And they had all the rights. Like, that's insane for people to they did that in their home. That's all they did. And it was incredible.
Exactly. But look, there's also examples of this where I'm looking forward to it, and they're paying a lot of money to do it. The new Christopher Nolan movie coming out, The Odyssey.
Yeah.
That is a reboot of existing IP of thousands of years ago. But, I'm very much going to be there on opening day.
But visually, it hasn't been like really made other than Troy, right? Troy's one of my favorite movies of all time. I fucking love that movie.
It's weird because like a lot of people like panned it, and then now I think it's kind of like underrated.
Troy, I saw Troy twice in theaters. That's how much I love Troy. I think it was 2004. I was a junior in high school. Dude, that ship scene where they go over the edge and they just see nothing but all those ships coming for a battle. Oh my God. It's so good.
And Brad Pitt just being like
super
jacked
fucking
as hell.
hot, dude. He was like he was my age. He was 37 at that when he did that movie. I'm like, fuck, that gives me
Yeah,
hope.
it's like a mirror. Look at you.
For real.
There you go.
You know a movie we could remake? Let's do Beverly Hills Ninja. I'll be the fat white guy. You be the Asian brother.
Oh, that's hilarious. Okay, so if there were to be an old school 90s, 2000s animation property, or it could even be live action that you would want to be remade today, one that hasn't been made, or even maybe one that has been made, but you're like, they didn't do it justice, what would you choose?
See, I always lean towards like, what are your safest options when it comes to trying to make a movie? Because drama, it has to be really good acting for a drama to be intense. For me, it's like, okay, you want to get a lot of eyes. It either has to be horror, action, or comedy. Like, because everybody likes a good laugh. Everybody loves a movie with like a crap ton of action, or it has to be scary. I'm trying to think of what animations that it really consumed in the 90s that would have been done. So when I think of come to mind is like Dragon Ball Z. They did a movie called Dragon Ball Evolution that came out in like 08 or 09. It's one of the worst movies ever made in the history of movies. It was fucking awful. It was really bad. So I would love for them to
like all white people.
No, it was like this kid in like high school. They're just like, oh, this kid got fucking powers.
Oh, I think I remember. Yeah,
and it's like this is not.
I'm thinking of
like,
Avatar.
If you like want to do the Dragon Ball storyline, like do the storyline. Don't take a rendition of a kid in high school in fucking America, and now we're like, that's Dragon Ball Z. Get fucked.
Right. Did you ever date an Asian girl? You're a white guy that's in anime. You know what I mean? Like, do you ever like lean in?
Dating's a loose term, so I'll go yes.
Okay, cool. Because I can now envision an alternate reality
where I'm married to an Asian girl.
Right. You have a Honda Civic with like a big big like fin on the back. Yeah,
dude,
like your best friends are all Korean. I knew you. You know what I mean?
You've seen my spam Masubis. You know this white boy's got some Asian culture.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
Or you might know this anime, Inuyasha. That could be a really fun live action show. I gear more towards like anime than I would anything in the United States because I'm just trying to think of like all the cartoons.
Okay,
where it's
so
like,
I got you. I got a good one here. The first thing before I even like looked up any of this research, because I do have some things that I think would be good. Gargoyles.
Fuck me,
would be
dude. That's
so
it.
sick.
Dude.
Would be incredible.
As
How
long
come
as
we have not gotten that yet?
As long as they keep like the intro song the same, maybe add like a really sick guitar riff to it. That is, dude. Well, I've never been more impressed with an answer from you than.
Thank you.
That
I
show
say, like,
being a
honestly,
kid show
that was not ChatGPT. That was not Claude. Claude agrees with me, but here's the thing: like when you're like,
we rise again.
You were saying if they redo this, they have to do it. What'd you say? It has to be either a horror, a comedy, or what was the other thing that you said?
Action.
And that's all three would be on that. Like you have to come in and make it kind of a horror movie in the very beginning. Like really show the gargoyles as they are, as like
we should
as
totally
metal as they can be.
We should totally write a script. That would that show for being a kid show was one of the darkest cartoons to consume as a kid. But that fucking show is so good. It is so
good.
It shows like how evil humanity is, especially in the beginning where they just get fucking like backstabbed and then they come back and they're just being used the entire. Oh my God, dude. We should write a script for that.
I would be there. I would be like, please take my money. I will be at the premiere of that movie.
We should workshop that because that is, dude. I'm telling you, that is a legitimate, incredible idea. That show would absolutely. Now the question is would we make that a movie or would we make that a series?
A show would be good. It's hard
because there's so much of a storyline to try and fit into like a 2-hour film. That's where I feel like that would be maybe better as a actual show. But again, you don't want to lose it in the fucking library of Netflix or Amazon Prime.
I agree. I'm right there with you. That's why I think it should be Gargoyles, and there should be a 3 film arc. Like you have the first one, you kind of do it just like Lord of the Rings. You have the first one that can stand alone by itself, and then you have on the back end like then we'll have
cliffhanger?
this like then we'll have the second and the third one kind of combined. Yeah, that's the way to go. All right, this or that, and we'll get out of here.
Cool.
So this or that on reboots. This is what we're doing today. So we're going to reboot the franchise. This or that, Samurai Jack or Powerpuff Girls.
Bro, you killed it on this one. It's not.
Thanks,
this
buddy.
is so easy of an answer. Like, so easy of an answer. It is
Okay.
Samurai Jack. They tried to remake Powerpuff Girls. There's even a trailer for it. It had
Oh, really?
Donald. It had Donald Faison. It flopped so bad with audience screenings, they just canceled it. It's never going to see the light of day.
Oh, what a bummer. 'Cause,
Yeah,
like,
dude,
I
look
think,
up
like,
look
it,
up
it would be
Powerpuff
really
Girls.
cool.
That's
Oh,
who.
interesting.
That's who Professor. What was his name? Professor Utanium. What's the dad?
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
That was Donald Faison. That was he played the professor. Yeah, dude.
That's random casting.
Look up the trailer
Yeah.
for Powerpuff Girls, like 23, 24 live action. You'll watch it and you'll be like, I get why this was canceled. Like, that makes sense.
Got
But
it,
Samurai Jack as a live action, that show was also super dark. Like, super dark. That would be such a dope live action. Holy fuck. And the intro to that song, fucking banger. Walk the Jack, to ride Jack. Wabasha.
Okay, this or that.
What about you? Same answer or no? Were you not like too old to watch Samurai Jack? Because that was like 03, 04.
Yeah,
You were like
some of
banging
these-
chicks by the time it came out. So like you wouldn't watch
But
a
you know, like
cartoon.
Cartoon Network still exists. Like when you're like stoned at like 2 a.m.
True.
In college. You know what I mean? Also, my brother gave me a lot of these.
Okay.
Yeah,
Your brother knows ball.
my brother does know ball. This or that, Teen Titans or The Tick.
Teen Titans. Easy. Teen Titans
Why
was
is that?
also a very dark show. Very dark show, especially towards
Totally.
the end. Because like, was it Beast Boy? I'm trying to remember the green
Yeah, yeah.
little dude.
Mm-hmm,
I think if I remember correctly, the show ends on a cliffhanger of not understanding what happens. But supposedly, Beast Boy was like the second coming of the Antichrist to destroy the world.
Whoa, what?
Yeah, Beast. The Raven had like a premonition that
Jesus
if
Christ.
Beast Boy does some sort of like evolvement or evolution. If I remember this correctly, again, I haven't watched Teen Titans in like 20 years. He was going to end the world. He was going to be the reason the world ended. It was super fucking dark. Super dark.
Okay.
And then Robin has this like obsession with this bad guy who keeps plaguing his mind that he can never catch. There's like even a point where he's like he thinks he's seeing him and everyone thinks he's crazy until they're like, oh, he's not fucking crazy. But it's dark as shit. Super dark.
Okay. Yeah. I will go with you on that one.
Okay, cool.
Then the last one, I'm having a hard time finding like the matchup of the two. It's mostly because I want to talk about Venture Brothers. Did you watch Venture Brothers?
Wasn't that Adult Swim? Wasn't that shit?
Yeah.
Yeah. That show was ridiculous. What?
Yeah,
what
but
about...
it was like about like superheroes, but like as everyday kind of like sad people.
Oh yeah.
Which I think would work really, really well because it wasn't really about their powers. It was like, yes, you have powers, but it was like their interpersonal like relationships, which I could see. I don't know, like John Hamm playing someone as like Mr. or whatever. You know what I'm talking about? Like you're gonna get a bunch of actors that want to be in these scenes where they're kind of like assholes and dicks in this like funny way.
I'll give you one that I think would be better or along that same category that I'd love
Okay.
to see as a live action show. Archer.
Oh, perfect. Okay, Archer and Venture Brothers, they are of the same like parents. They are siblings. So, ooh, that's really good. Okay, what's yours? Like, I'll
It
think about
it has to be Archer.
Just you don't know Venture Brothers.
I don't know it as well. I've watched it on Adult Swim,
Yeah.
but I remember the first time I watched Archer. It was like fall of 2009. So I was a senior in college, and I
Uh-huh.
remember staying up late and I turned on FX randomly. And then I saw the show and I was like, what the fuck is this? Because this is hilarious. I love the voice actor because it's Bob Burger's
Bob's
guy, but he was
Burgers,
also
yeah.
he was also in a show earlier than that called Home Movies. He was actually the coach in Home Movies, which was a really early 2000s Adult Swim poorly animated show.
And the mom from Arrested Development.
Yeah, dude, just the characters in that show are so just unhinged. And he
Danger Zone.
Danger Zone, where it's like, or he's like, oh, can you pay? I forgot my wallet. And he's like, oh, don't cry. Bok, bok. With the fucking swan aluminum foil to-go bag. Oh, my God.
See, here's the thing is, I think that show is so good, and the comedy is so good and so precise, and the voices are so good that I don't think you can remake it. I think it has to live there in animation, so I'm going to go Venture Brothers on this one. Well, thank you guys for coming with us on this, little nostalgia jaunt. If you see He-Man on a plane, congrats.
That is your
You
not
pay money to go see
recommendation.
it. Enjoy burning your dollars.
Yeah, I'll slightly judge you for going to see it in theaters, but you know.
Yeah, like in the comments, hit me up about Obsession or Backrooms. That's where I'm at currently. Yeah.
Anyway, love y'all. Thanks for being
Love you
here.
guys.
Appreciate you. Until next time.
Don't let the signal fade away. You know I'm just one flip away. We laugh, we cried, we press in till we confess again, my friend.